First, though, we have a couple of news and notes things that I wanted to discuss. The first one being that our beloved boy on the show, Chet Holmgren, shout out to Matt Penny, Chet Holmgren is going to be missing the entire 2022-23 season with a Liz Frank injury in his right foot. Just an enormous bummer. It sucks. Like, Chet is an incredibly fun player. He's incredibly competitive. He's so competitive that he injured his foot seemingly gearing up to contest a transition dunk from LeBron in a Pro-Am game. Like, that's who he is. It's like the most, you never want to see a guy get hurt, and it's a freak injury, but if he's going to get hurt some way, it's showcasing his competitiveness by trying to stop a LeBron transition dunk in a Pro-Am game. It's just kind of unbelievable. Do you have any thoughts on your just general sadness about Chet Holmgren not being able to play NBA basketball in 2022-23?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Oklahoma City obviously has a bevy of draft picks still left even after him, but you saw what they had going with Lou Dort, SGA, the thin, tall kid who always needs a sandwich. Alex, I can never pronounce his name right.
Poku.
And then you
shout out Pokuism. This is our podcast agreement that there is somewhere between a 0 and 100% chance that Poku is a good NBA player. Pokuism.
I'm high on him. I think he's interesting. So I was interested to see how Chet kind of fits alongside those young guys, and could they, I thought it'd be kind of a Cleveland Cavaliers type year for them, where maybe they could be the team with the next interesting young core that again, I don't know if they're making a push with the way the West is this year, but just kind of shows they're coming. And
exceeds expectations.
Yeah. And then you see where they fall in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes or Scoot maybe. So going to be interesting to see how they do without him. And if they win the lottery, I mean, are you still taking Victor to put with Chet? That's a lot of size and a versatile lineup. If they do, that's a conversation for next year, but interesting food for thought, given that they're not going to have their main big guy out there this year.
Yeah, look, I think that Vic is absolutely on the board. I'm not someone that is, look, if the draft was held on August 25th, 2022, I think Victor Wembanyama would go number 1 overall. I'm not someone that subscribes to this being like a completely and utterly done deal, if only because like Scoot Henderson is amazing. The Thompson twins are amazing. Like there are real prospects and there is real competition this year. Because this is a really good top of the draft. What I'll say on Chet, I want to say a few things. So first and foremost, this is Chet's first like real injury, like real substantial injury that has forced him to miss like actual time playing basketball. His body has never broken down previously. Like this is a first. Right. His injury, there was not like, he was not flagged at the combine because of injury history. There's nothing there. Right. So some of the comments that I have seen already are disappointing. Like I saw Jeff Goodman tweet something like, this is why GMs were terrified to draft him. I can assure you that no general manager was terrified to draft him because his foot gave out in the middle of a Pro-Am game in Seattle where there was like a not ideal floor condition that ended up with the game being suspended because of that. It's a total freak injury. Like these things just happen. And GMs did not draft Chet Holmgren because of his injury history or because they're afraid of him getting hurt. Like they're a little bit worried that his frame might not hold up over the course of an 82 game season. There's a chance that they might not have picked him because they're worried about just how his frame will actualize itself on the court. Like, will he be strong enough to anchor and rebound and like achieve the tasks he has to do on the court? But him getting injured in a freak accident in was Seattle, right? It was in
Mm-hmm.
Seattle at Jamal Crawford's Pro-Am tournament. That's not the main concern here, and it's just not. It's foolhardy to say otherwise. I think that I was disappointed to see any comments like that because Jeff wasn't the only one. This could end up being like a not terrible thing for him. I think this is always going to be a longer process for him because he needed to bulk up just to get the most out of what his game is. Getting stronger is really going to help him. I think like he's going to get a year to lift and get stronger and get more physical. That's really helpful. I'm not worried. Not worried about Chet long term based off of this injury. All of the prognoses with Liz Frank injuries, we've seen them before. They take a while to heal because the bone is in a very unique spot in the middle of the foot where blood flow is a bit weaker and thus it takes a little bit longer, but they do heal. It just unfortunately takes a year typically.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that other than that, talk about the GM concerns. I mean, the draft was big heavy at the top this year between Paolo, Chet, and Jabari Smith. I mean, if it was that big of a concern, you could see him maybe slide into 3 or 4 just based on some of the other options there, but obviously that didn't happen. So I did not know about that tweet, and it sounds like I didn't miss much from it. So I'm not really concerned either.
Yeah, that's really all I've got. It sucks. The whole thing sucks. Chet is an incredibly fun player. He's an incredibly fun personality. I think that like people would have really gotten to know him a little bit this year, just in terms of his mentality and his confidence level. And, we started to see flashes of it during the draft where he'd say things like, who's the best, someone would ask him who the best player in the NBA is, and he'd say me in 3 months or something like that. Right. That's just who he is. Like he thinks he's, just absolutely awesome. And he's just so competitive. It doesn't come from like a negative place. It just comes from like a place of being the ultimate competitor. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is.